Sharifa is going to visit branch offices of her medical supply company based in City A. So no matter what, she starts from City A. How can she start in City A, visit all the branches, and return home? How many ways? Okay, so if she only has, let me see if I can make this a little bigger. No, I can't. If she only has one city to go to, A to B, there's only one way to do it. So if there's only one city, we have one way. If there are two cities, say B and N, she can go to B first and then N, or N first and then B. So if she has two cities to visit, she can do it two different ways. Now this kind of indicates right now that 3 cities would be 3 ways, 4 cities would be 4 ways, and so on. But when you go ahead and look at 3 cities, she can go from A to B to N or to C. From B, she can go first to N and then C, or first to C and then N. So from B, this matches up with this. From the city here, when she's got 2 cities left, there's 2 ways to do it. But there are 3 ways to start out now. So from each of these 3, there are 2 ways to do it. So 2 ways here, 2 ways here, 2 ways here gives us a total of 6 ways. So this is actually 3 times 2, which is 6 ways. So now imagine, without having to necessarily draw out the whole tree, if there were 4 cities, then every one of these 4 cities would have all of these branches coming off of it. Just as this branch comes off of each of these 3, if this was one of 4, so if she was going first here, and then here, and then here, and then here, and each of these would have these 6 ways, then she would have 4 ways to do 6 ways, and that ends up as 4 times 3 times 2 is actually 24 ways. Now, would this fit the initial pattern here? 1 is just 1 way. 2, we could call this 2 times 1, and we could call this 2 times 1, and we could call this 2 times 1. So we've got 1, and then 2 times 1, and then 3 times 2 times 1, and then 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. This is, by the way, actually called factorial. We'll learn later when we get into counting and probabilities. Factorial means to multiply that by that number and every positive integer from there down to 1. So if there were 4 cities, then see what I'm saying? Each of these 4 would have all 6 of these ways to do it. So 4 ways that would each have 6 ways would be 4 times 6, or 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. So 5 cities. Then each of these 5 would have 4 ways, well, 24 ways to go to the remaining 4 cities. So that would be 5 times the previous number, 4 times 3 times 2 times 1, which this is 24, so 24 times 5 would be 120. So there's 120 ways to go to 5 cities. So take that and use that to answer how many different ways that she can go to 6 cities and how many different ways she can go to 7 cities.